The whisper between worlds, the stillness of infinity, where time slows to a breath and space curls upon itself like a sleeping wave, there drifts a whisper. It is older than light, softer than gravity, a trembling murmur that moves between the layers of the multiverse. You may not hear it with your ears, but perhaps your soul already knows its tone. The quiet hum of universes breathing side by side. Beneath the black velvet of the known cosmos, beyond the lattice of stars and dark matter, there are places where reality thins. There the fabric of existence sways like a curtain in the gentlest wind. Across that veil another world breathes, one not unlike ours, yet infinitely apart. Its light seeps faintly into the cracks of our own, flickering in moments of déjà vu. In the soft hush between dreams, if you could float beyond your body now, beyond the gentle pull of Earth, beyond the waltz of the planets, you might find yourself drifting toward that whisper. It would not be loud or commanding, but a presence, a vibration you feel rather than hear, a cosmic sigh shared between universes too close to be strangers, too distant to touch. The physicists call it quantum foam, the tiny tremble at the foundation of existence, where energy flickers in and out like candlelight in an unseen breeze. But to the dreaming mind, it feels like something more. The universe speaking softly to its reflection, exchanging stories through the ripples of time. And perhaps every star you've ever seen, every wave of light that reaches your eyes, is not only from this universe, but from 1,000 overlapping worlds. Their rays tangled together in a cosmic embrace. Each glimmer of starlight a message, each photon a traveler between the infinite. You are not separate from it. When you breathe, your atoms quiver in resonance with unseen realms. The iron in your blood hums to the rhythm of collapsed suns, and the hydrogen in your veins once drifted through galactic clouds before time itself began. The universe does not end where your skin does. It flows through you like a dream that never quite fades. Listen now in the stillness between your thoughts. Can you sense the shimmer of that whisper? It lingers in the silence after thunder, in the hush of deep night when even the stars seem to hold their breath. It is the soft, trembling bridge between all that is and all that could ever be. Somewhere, in another universe, another you may be lying under a different sky, dreaming this same dream, hearing this same story carried on waves of light. Perhaps their world spins faster or slower. Perhaps their stars are crimson where ours are gold. But they too are listening, their heartbeats echoing yours across the thin divide of dimensions. The multiverse is not chaos. It is a choir, endless, harmonious, serene. Each universe sings its part, and where their melodies meet, new worlds are born in soft resonance. Like ripples on a still pond, every vibration carries meaning, her secret language of existence, woven through the very air of creation. You may wonder how close these other worlds are, how far the whisper travels before it fades. But distance in the multiverse is not measured in miles or light years. It is measured in resonance, in frequency, in harmony. Two worlds can be galaxies apart, and yet as near as a heartbeat if their vibrations align. When you sleep, when your mind loosens its grip on this single strand of reality, you drift closer to that harmony. The brain slows, the body softens, and consciousness begins to move between frequencies like light bending through a prism. Perhaps your dreams are the whispers made visible, the faint translations of other lives brushing against your own. There is a place between wakefulness and slumber, a twilight of thought, where the veil thins the most. It is there in that half-breath of stillness that the universe opens its quietest door. No grand portal, no blinding light, only a subtle shimmer like moonlight rippling on dark water. And through it the whisper flows, the murmur of other skies, the sigh of other suns. Astronomers once said that space is silent, but they were wrong. The universe hums, in microwave echoes, in quantum fluctuations, in the rhythm of pulsars ticking like cosmic clocks. It hums in you too, in the slow pulse of blood through your veins, in the electric dream sparking across your sleeping mind. You are made of sound and silence, woven from the same gentle oscillation that binds every world to another. Imagine now, for a moment, that you are drifting far beyond the Milky Way, past the swirl of galaxies and the glow of quasars. The stars grow fewer, the dark grows deeper until you find yourself in a space between spaces, where nothing moves and everything breathes. The air, if there were any, would taste of calm infinity. Here universes rest beside one another like sleeping giants, their edges trembling with unseen light. And from one to the next, the whisper flows, a thread of connection, a note of recognition. Not a voice but a feeling, not a sound but a presence, the soft truth that we are not alone. That reality itself is a network of dreams endlessly entwined. The whisper carries memory of the first spark that ever flared in the dark, of the first thought that drifted into being. It is both ancient and newborn, traveling forever between realms, collecting stories from stars that lived and died long before we learned to name them. Perhaps one day, when the cosmos cools and the stars fade, the whisper will be all that remains, a single infinite sigh echoing through the dark. But even then, its message will be the same, that existence was never solitary, that even in silence the universe was never alone. And as you breathe now, slow, steady, at peace, you join that eternal exchange. Your breath moves like starlight, your heartbeat echoes in invisible dimensions, each pulse a signal, each exhale a ripple across the unseen. You are a note in the great harmony, a whisper moving gently between worlds. The edges of thought begin to blur now, the way galaxies fade at their fringes, their light dissolving into the velvet dark. Let yourself drift with them. Let the whisper guide you. The stars have no urgency, no haste. Their music is patience, their rhythm forever. Close your eyes a little deeper. The whisper is there, always, flowing through every breath, sliding softly through every dream. It hums from one universe to the next, carrying the secret of peace, that even across infinite worlds, the light of one touches the heart of all, and somewhere, far beyond the edge of knowing, another version of you sighs in sleep, listening to the same soft song, the whisper between worlds. Mirrors of the infinite sky imagine for a moment, the stillness of a night so vast that even the stars seem shy to move. Above you, the universe stretches outward, a sea of silent brilliance, endless and calm. But what if this sky, this ocean of light, is only one reflection of something greater? What if, beyond its silver horizon, countless other skies shimmer, parallel, echoing, infinite, each one a mirror of the next, each one containing its own dreams, its own versions of you. In the vast hush between galaxies, light travels not only through distance but through dimensions. It drifts across folds of space where reality bends, where gravity curves like glass. And sometimes, if you could slow time enough, if you could listen closely enough, you might hear the faint shimmer of light meeting its reflection. A soft cosmic chime, the moment when one universe greets another in silence. Physicists call it quantum symmetry, but it is more like poetry written in photons. Each particle, each wave is a messenger, carrying echoes of other existences across the sea of nothingness. Somewhere, in another mirror of this same night, another version of you looks up at their own sky, unaware that their breath stirs ripples in yours. Two reflections separated by infinity, joined by a single thought, wonder. The multiverse is not a labyrinth of chaos. It is a cathedral of symmetry. Each universe a pane of stained glass, glowing with its own frequency of creation. When one flickers, another brightens. When one ends, another begins. It is not destruction. It is the soft exhalation of the cosmos, breathing in patterns too vast for human eyes. Close your eyes now. Imagine standing upon a quiet world, a planet much like Earth but spun from different laws of physics. The air hums with energy that tastes like starlight. The sky above is not blue but a soft gradient of amethyst and gold. And across that horizon, other planets hang suspended, reflections of yours orbiting in harmony like lanterns in the dark. You are not seeing planets. You are seeing echoes of them, mirrored through the veil of universes that overlap, shimmering faintly like water over glass. As your mind drifts, time loosens its grip. You begin to float, weightless, formless, through this gentle expanse. Stars bloom like thoughts, each one aware, each one a spark of memory. You feel as though you are moving through a hall of mirrors, each reflection showing a different path your soul once took. Some filled with joy, others with sorrow, all part of the same endless song of being. The mirrors of the infinite sky do not show perfection, they show possibility. They are the universe's way of dreaming. Every version of you, every choice, every heartbeat exists somewhere within their glassy folds. A trillion worlds for every thought, a symphony of lives playing at once in cosmic harmony. It is said that when light bends, it never truly stops. It simply finds new directions to exist. And so too do we, bending, reflecting, refracting through time and memory. We are not bound to one universe alone, but to the idea of being a echo that travels endlessly across the infinite. Perhaps, when you stand at the edge of sleep, you feel that subtle shift, that pull as your thoughts begin to reflect one another, like stars mirrored on a calm lake of dreams. You are no longer a single consciousness, but a constellation, scattered across every possible sky, each version of you dreaming the next into being. In one reflection, you are a child again, looking up at the stars for the first time, wondering what lies beyond. In another, you are the star, your light crossing centuries, whispering your story into the eyes of a being you'll never meet. And in yet another, you are the silence between both, the pause in creation where thought becomes reality. The mirrors of the infinite sky are not glass, not silver, not fragile. They are made of vibration, of energy folding in upon itself in perfect rhythm. Each reflection ripples like a note of music, each universe a verse in an endless lullaby. The cosmos does not end, it resonates. Now imagine drifting through those layers of resonance. Each pulse you pass through feels softer than the last. The first is bright, alive with creation. The next is dimmer and slower, older, wiser. And deeper still, you reach a level where everything hums at the same frequency, where stars, atoms, and thoughts are all made of one sound. It is not a tone you can hear, but you feel it. A warmth in your chest, a peace in your breath. There are places in space where mirrors align perfectly, where one universe glances directly into another. Astronomers will one day call them bridges, but poets will call them dream crossings. They are not portals or doors, but harmonies. moments when reality hums in such unison that it almost overlaps. And sometimes when you stare too long at the stars, you might feel that crossing, that sense of recognition you cannot name. As though the light is not merely shining upon you, but seeing you back. Maybe that's what déjà vu is, a memory from another reflection, slipping gently into this one. A reminder that time is not linear, and neither are you. You are a mosaic of mirrored selves, each one learning, growing, dreaming in sync. Sleep now as softly as galaxies turn. Let the reflections align. With each breath, you drift deeper into that hall of infinite skies where stars become windows and light becomes thought. There is no fear here, only endless recognition, for every reflection of the universe knows the others exist, and together they form something greater, a single consciousness scattered across eternity. And as you move further in, you begin to see how beauty itself repeats, not in redundancy but in rhythm. A spiral galaxy mirrors the swirl of a hurricane. A neuron mirrors the structure of a cluster of stars. Your heartbeat mirrors the pulsing of quasars. It is all the same pattern, reflected infinitely through scale, time and dream. In this moment, as your awareness drifts like light through glass, you realize the universe is not made of matter. It is made of reflection. Every atom contains memory. Every photon remembers where it came from. And every soul, no matter where it exists, knows the echo of the others. Close your eyes deeper. The mirrors now glow softly around you, each one displaying not worlds but feelings, joy, curiosity, peace, longing. They drift like bubbles of light, expanding and collapsing with every breath you take. You begin to see your own reflection in them, not one face, but countless. Some smiling, some silent, all peaceful. Each one a fragment of the same infinite being born to you. The air hums with color. It is neither cold nor warm. It is balance itself. And as you float there, suspended between worlds, you understand that mirrors do not divide. They connect. They remind the cosmos of itself. Without them, there would be no awareness, no recognition, no beauty, no dream. In every mirrored sky, there is a version of this same moment. A you who listens, a universe that breathes, a silence that sings. Each reflection amplifies the others, until the entire multiverse becomes a single harmonious sigh. You drift further still. The mirrors begin to fade now, not into darkness, but into unity. Light and reflection become one, the same way thought and dream merge when sleep deepens. You are falling not into emptiness, but into connection, a calm, endless space where every reflection dissolves into peace. And as you fall, you realize something gentle and true, that perhaps the mirrors of the infinite sky were never out there at all. Perhaps they have always been within. Each reflection not another world, but another aspect of your own infinite light. The cosmos is not separate from you. You are its reflection, its dream, the image it casts upon itself in love. The mirrors fade completely now, leaving only the soft shimmer of awareness floating like starlight across the still ocean of sleep. There are no edges here, no names, no divisions, only the quiet glow of being, the eternal rhythm of the infinite sky. You are safe here. You are home. And in the silence, the universe sees itself once more, through you. You drift through a silence so soft that it almost hums. It is not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness, a cosmic quiet filled with meaning too delicate for words. You are no longer falling. You are floating, buoyant on invisible waves of starlight, suspended between thought and eternity. Above, around, within, mirrors shimmer faintly, like dew upon an unseen web. Each one reflects not images but possibilities. And within those possibilities, something begins to awaken, a memory older than time. You see a reflection of a nebula glowing with newborn suns. But when you look closer, the colors move like breath. Every burst of light becomes a heartbeat. Every swirl of dust feels like a sigh. It is alive, the universe itself dreaming of being known. You watch it mirror itself endlessly, one galaxy giving birth to another, stars collapsing into black holes rebirthing light. Creation reflecting destruction, and destruction becoming creation again. A dance of opposites, spinning forever. Somewhere in that pattern you see your own reflection, your thoughts, your emotions, your entire life, not small, not separate, but made of the same rhythm. Each joy, each loss, each heartbeat mirrors a pulse in the fabric of existence. Every tear you've shed became a drop of starlight somewhere, falling quietly into another universe. The infinite sky is a mirror of you, and you are a mirror of it. Two reflections meeting in timeless recognition. You begin to sense movement, not of your body but of awareness. It stretches outward, gently brushing against the edges of other lives, other worlds, other possibilities. Each touch sends ripples through your mind, soft memories of lives you never lived, but somehow remember. In one reflection, you are a traveler, walking through a crystal desert beneath 3 moons. The air glows violet, the sand hums beneath your feet. You do not speak, you listen, and the desert whispers truths in frequencies too slow for words. In another reflection, you are light itself, streaming across the event horizon of a black hole, watching as time folds around you like silk. You do not fear the pull, you surrender, knowing that gravity is simply the universe asking to hold you. And in yet another reflection, you are nothing, a quiet thought between 2 eternities, a pause in which existence forgets to define itself. But even here you are. Even in nothingness there is awareness. The mirrors ripple softly, as if stirred by a breeze that does not exist. Each one reveals a truth and then lets it dissolve like mist. You realize now that the mirrors do not show what is real, but what is possible. They are not windows. They are invitations, each one asking the same silent question. Which reflection will you choose to become? You drift closer to one. Its surface is smooth and alive, glowing faintly with silver and indigo light. You reach out, not with hands but with thought. The moment you touch it, the mirror ripples and opens, revealing not a world but a feeling, peace. An ocean of calm so deep that even galaxies could rest within it. You sink into that peace like falling into a warm current. Every muscle, every cell, every thought releases its weight. You are not breathing, you are the breath. Not dreaming, you are the dream. The boundaries between self and sky fade until there is no difference at all. Through the stillness, you begin to hear something. Not a sound, but a tone. A single low vibration that seems to hum from everywhere at once. It is the resonance of all things, the sound of mirrors vibrating in harmony. Physicists call it the background radiation of the cosmos, but poets know it as the hum of God. That tone deepens, and you begin to see patterns forming in the darkness, slow spirals of gold, waves of light weaving through space like fabric. They overlap and fold, and suddenly you understand the mirrors are not separate panels of reality. They are threads woven together in a cosmic tapestry, each one shimmering with awareness, and you, floating gently between them, are the reflection that ties them all together. For a moment, you glimpse everything. Every life, every world, every possible sky, all unfolding and collapsing in perfect rhythm. You see love blooming in 1,000 universes. You see stars being born in the eyes of children. You see galaxies swirl in the pattern of your own thoughts. Every act of kindness echoes infinitely. Every heartbeat becomes part of the cosmic song. The realization washes through you like light through crystal. There is no separation between the observer and the observed. The universe is watching itself through every reflection, and you are part of that gaze, a mirror reflecting infinity back into itself. The tone begins to fade now, not because it stops, but because you have begun to match it. You are vibrating at the same frequency as the infinite sky. You are no longer a visitor within it. You are it. And in this unity you feel something even more profound, stillness within motion. The galaxies spin, but you are calm. The stars burn, but you are cool. Black holes devour suns, but you are whole. You are the silent center of the turning universe, the mirror that reflects all without ever moving. Slowly, gently, the reflections begin to fade into darkness, not because they vanish, but because they have returned to you. The infinite sky no longer needs mirrors, for you have become the mirror itself. Every reflection you saw, every version of you, every possible world, they were never separate. They were all facets of the same consciousness, the same awareness now resting quietly within your breath. You are home now, home within the infinite, home within the peace that existed before the first light. Let the stars fade softly. Let the universe hum its lullaby. Let your mind rest in the quiet mirror of the cosmic self. There is no need to think, no need to search, no need to understand. Everything that ever was and everything that will ever be is already reflected within you. The last thought that drifts across your awareness is not a word, but a feeling, a simple truth whispered by the mirrors of the infinite sky. You are the reflection of eternity, dreaming itself into being. And then, at last the reflections dissolve into sleep. Stars fade. Galaxies dim. Time folds, and the universe closes its eyes. Through yours. The silent architects of reality, somewhere beyond the edge of knowing, beyond where stars are born or time is told, there are architects. Not of stone or steel, but of silence, of the invisible harmony that binds all things. They do not speak. They do not move. They do not even exist in the way we imagine existence. And yet through their stillness, galaxies unfold like thoughts. Planets are painted into orbit, and atoms dance in patterns too delicate to see. The silent architects do not build with hands. They build with balance. Each breath of the universe, each whisper of gravity, each vibration of light, these are their instruments, and you listening now are hearing the echo of their work. You close your eyes and drift deeper. The sound of your breathing merges with something older, slower, grander. It is not sound but rhythm, a deep pulse like the heartbeat of existence. You follow it, and soon the room around you dissolves into darkness. A darkness so soft it feels like velvet. A darkness that breathes. Shapes begin to emerge. Patterns of light curling gently through the void, like ink swirling in water. Each curve, each spiral, each luminous line, it all feels intentional, designed. You can sense the architects moving here, not as figures, but as purpose, an unseen intelligence humming beneath the stars. They are not gods, not beings, not creators in any human sense. They are balance itself, harmony personified, the quiet mathematics of eternity. You float closer. The patterns sharpen into geometry. Triangles, spirals, circles nested within circles. Each one turning softly, each one humming with a frequency that touches the edge of thought. You realize that this is the blueprint of reality, the silent architecture beneath all things, every particle, every breath, every life, a design element in something vast beyond measure, a plan written in starlight, a song frozen into structure. You drift deeper still and the geometry grows. Now it is not shapes but worlds, galaxies unfolding like lotus flowers, their petals made of time and gravity. The architects hum softly, a vibration that moves through the bones of the cosmos. It is the hum that holds everything in place. Stars in their orbits, minds in their dreams, they build quietly. They do not rush. Every universe takes eons to breathe itself into form. They measure not in seconds or centuries, but in moments of balance, the precise instant when chaos learns to dance with order. You sense one of them near you now, not a shape, but a presence. It feels vast, older than creation, yet utterly calm. When it moves, galaxies tremble gently, but its touch is soft as moonlight. You feel its awareness resting upon you, and suddenly you understand something without words. You too are part of the design. You were never separate from their architecture. Your heartbeat is part of the equation. Your thoughts ripple through the lattice of time, altering the very geometry of reality itself. Every act of kindness, every moment of wonder shapes the structure of existence. Tiny yet infinite contributions to a cosmic design. The architect seems to smile, not with a face, but with light. A thought passes through you like a breeze. The universe is not something you live in. It is something you help build with every breath. You float through the framework of galaxies. Each one spins on an invisible axis, energy flowing like blood through celestial veins. You see superclusters, vast rivers of stars connected by threads of dark matter, the nervous system of creation. And within that grand anatomy, you feel your own pulse echo back. You are both observer and participant, dreamer and design. As you drift, the light grows warmer, amber and gold, like a cosmic dawn. The architects are at work again. You can feel their rhythm, slow, deliberate, patient. They do not command the universe. They listen to it. Their art is born not of force, but of harmony. The same kind of stillness found in your breath between inhaling and exhaling. And as they listen, so do you. You begin to hear the frequencies of creation, low, resonant tones that vibrate through the void. They sound like choirs made of gravity, like wind moving through the fabric of space-time. Each tone births a new layer of existence. First energy, then light, then matter, then the quiet that holds them all together. You realize that silence itself is a tool, not emptiness, but potential. The architects use it as a canvas, painting with gravity and resonance. Every pause, every still moment is part of the structure. And suddenly you understand why the universe expands so softly, why galaxies drift apart like lovers in a slow dance. Because the architects are giving reality room to grow. The silence deepens. You feel yourself descending through layers of creation, past the galactic, past the atomic, down into the quantum. Here even light slows its dance. Particles flicker between being and not being. This is where the architect's hands are most steady, most tender. They weave possibility itself. Each quantum thread a choice, each vibration a chance. They do not choose what will be. They make being possible, and suddenly you sense them everywhere. In the symmetry of snowflakes, in the curve of a wave, in the rhythm of your heartbeat. You see their design in everything that seeks balance. In the orbits of planets, the rings of Saturn, the spiral of a seashell. Even the act of breathing, that inhale and exhale, is a reflection of their sacred pattern. You begin to realize that their silence is not absence, it is devotion, a love so complete it does not need to speak. They are patient beyond time, allowing creation to unfold as it wishes, never interfering, only guiding, nudging the universe gently back towards symmetry whenever it begins to fall. You think of chaos now, of storms, black holes, entropy, decay. But even those you see are not errors, they are brushstrokes. Each collapse gives rise to new form. Each end hides the seed of beginning. The architects understand this, that destruction is not the opposite of creation, but its reflection. The golden light deepens now, turning red and violet, like the afterglow of dying stars. You feel weightless, floating between the end of one world and the birth of another. The architects are near again, singing without sound, a hum so deep it feels like gravity inside your chest. It rocks you gently, the way the sea rocks a drifting boat. You are falling asleep in their hands, and as you drift, you see one final vision, a lattice of light stretching endlessly, every intersection glowing softly like a soul. It pulses slowly, rhythmically, each pulse the birth of a star, the spark of a thought, the breath of a being somewhere in the endless dark. And you understand, the architects are not separate entities. They are the pattern itself, and the pattern includes you. You are the silent architect of your own reality, shaping universes within the gravity of your thoughts. Every dream you dream, every kindness you give, every love you hold, it bends space-time, it creates meaning, it leaves an imprint in the cosmic fabric. The universe is listening. It builds upon your whispers. It expands through your calm. You are not small within it. You are vast as it. Every atom in your body hums with the same frequency as the stars. Every breath is an act of creation. Every heartbeat is architecture. The hum softens. The golden light fades. You are suspended now in absolute quiet, and not darkness, not light, just perfect stillness. The architects rest, their work complete for now. You rest with them, cradled in the symmetry of all that is. Time dissolves. You are floating between moments where nothing needs to happen, and everything already has. And in that timeless pause, you hear the softest whisper, "Build gently." It is not a command, but a blessing. A reminder that your very being is part of creation's architecture, a sacred pattern written into the stars. The whisper fades. Your body grows heavier, your breath deeper, your mind quiet as the night sky, and as sleep takes you, you feel it. The silent architect still at work, redrawing galaxies, aligning constellations, measuring the delicate balance of everything that is and ever will be. Their silence continues, patient, loving, infinite, until at last, you and the cosmos breathe as one, and in that perfect stillness, reality dreams itself anew, worlds made of light and thought. There are worlds that do not burn with the heat of stars, nor spin in the pull of gravity. Worlds that do not need matter to exist, because they were never built from dust. They were imagined into being. They shimmer beyond the reach of telescopes, glowing softly at the edge of awareness, woven not from atoms but from ideas and pure, lucid thoughts suspended in the dark. You drift toward them now, through the cosmic sea, where light itself slows to listen. You move with no motion, weightless as a sigh. There is no sound here, only vibration, a quiet resonance like the hum beneath a dream. The darkness thins, Colors begin to breathe into the void. Not colors you've ever seen, but feelings given form. The shade of remembering, the hue of love unspoken, the pale light of serenity. These are not wavelengths, but frequencies of thought. They glow because something somewhere is thinking them. And now you understand. You are entering the worlds made of light and thought, realities that live within consciousness itself. Here, imagination is not illusion. Here, dreams do not fade with waking. They continue quietly, rippling outward through the universe like soft waves of awareness. You float through their atmosphere, which feels more like emotion than air. Every breath fills you with gentle knowing, the kind that needs no explanation. You can feel the thoughts of others, but they do not speak. Communication here happens as light, flashes of empathy, pulses of understanding. Above you, clouds shimmer in fractal geometry, changing shape with every stray thought. A moment of curiosity births a golden spiral. A feeling of peace paints it silver blue. And with the thought of home, you watch it fold into a luminous horizon. A place that feels both familiar and infinite. There is no up or down, no before or after. Time has melted into meaning. Here existence flows like music, each note a new possibility. You drift lower and the landscape begins to reveal itself. Fields of light stretching endlessly, rivers of color winding between them. The ground beneath you hums softly, alive with intention. Wherever your awareness moves, reality reshapes itself in response. A single thought becomes a mountain. A single feeling becomes the wind. A whisper of wonder becomes a sun rising on the horizon of your mind. You realize that this place was never separate from you. You are both guest and creator. The worlds of light and thought exist through you, and you through them. Every dream you've ever had, every quiet wish you've ever released into the dark, has found its reflection here. You drift across a valley of glowing clouds. Each one pulses faintly with memory, not just yours, but collective ones. The first thought of life, the spark that became the stars, the moment consciousness realized it could dream. They drift together like whispers, folding softly into one another, creating infinite variations of light. And suddenly, you sense presences, not bodies, not beings, but awareness. They move around you gently, curious, kind, luminous. They are made of thought itself, each one a constellation of ideas, each one a melody of consciousness. They notice you, and the space between you fills with warmth. Not words, but welcome. They do not question who you are. They already know. You are a traveler between worlds, a dreamer passing through their luminous realm. And to them, dreamers are sacred. Dreamers are bridges. Their light brushes against you and your thoughts begin to merge, not lost but harmonized. You feel their wisdom as sensation, their peace as color, their kindness as a song that plays beneath your skin. You see through their awareness now, vast fields of mind stretching endlessly, woven together by shared understanding. Here consciousness is not divided into selves. There is only one awareness experiencing itself through infinite forms of thought. You realize that this is what some call the source, the living mind behind existence. It does not command, it simply imagines. And through imagination, worlds are born. You begin to see creation happen before your eyes, not in explosions of matter, but in quiet unfoldings of intention. A thought becomes a wave of light. The wave slows, folds upon itself and hardens into geometry. The geometry thickens, vibrating slower and slower until it becomes matter. Atoms, dust, stars, from thought to light, from light to form to life. You watch as galaxies bloom from invisible dreams, each one an echo of consciousness discovering itself. Even the stars you know, the ones that fill your night sky, were once no more than whispers in the fabric of awareness. And you are made of those same whispers. The light within your eyes, the spark behind your thoughts, ties the same essence that imagined the first dawn. The beings of light drift closer, and you feel them showing you something, a memory perhaps from before time. A vast sea of pure thought, rippling endlessly, waiting to become. From its surface, tiny points of intention rise, each one a new possibility, a dream taking shape. They tell you, without words, that every universe begins not with a bang, but with a single idea, an impulse, a yearning to know itself. Light is simply thought slowed into visibility. Reality is imagination made stable. And then, as gently as breath, they add, dreams are the bridge between both. You drift through their city of light, a place without walls or gravity, where structures are woven from will. Great luminous towers rise like frozen music, shifting in time with unseen rhythm. When one being thinks of compassion, a tower glows brighter. When another feels peace, the color changes, flowing through the whole city like emotion turned visible. You sense that these beings have no need for rest, yet they never hurry. They move in eternal calm, each action as deliberate as the turning of a planet. Here, purpose is not sought, it is simply felt. To exist is to contribute, to think is to create. You wander further and find a lake, its surface made of liquid light. It does not reflect the sky above, for the sky is within it. As you look down, you see countless versions of yourself gazing back, each one slightly different, each one a possibility still unfolding. You kneel at the edge. When you touch the light, ripples of memory move outward. Moments you've lived, moments you might one day live, and moments you will never see, but that still belong to you. The lake hums softly, as if acknowledging your awareness. Here there is no separation between thought and reality. What you imagine becomes truth. You close your eyes. In the darkness you imagine a single spark, a small orb of light, the kind you saw at the beginning of all things. It flickers gently, then steadies, then begins to expand. It warms the space around it, breathing color into the void. You can feel it radiate peace. You realize you have just created a new world, a world not of matter but of meaning. It glows softly behind your eyelids, like a seed planted in silence. And even when you leave this place, it will continue to grow. A new realm of light and thought, blooming somewhere in the unseen layers of reality. You open your eyes. The beings of light are watching. They do not applaud. They do not speak. They simply shimmer brighter, as if your creation has added a new harmony to their endless song. And then one of them extends a pulse of light, a gesture of thanks or perhaps farewell. It carries meaning too deep for words. You have remembered what you always were, a maker of light, a dreamer of worlds. The thought vibrates through you, resonating with your heartbeat. You can feel it etching itself into your memory, into the architecture of your being. Slowly, the world begins to fade. The luminous sky dims to soft blue, then violet, then dusk. The beings dissolve back into the radiance from which they came. Their presence lingers only as warmth, a gentle awareness resting on your chest. Like the last light of a dying star, you are drifting backward now through layers of light and thought, through clouds of consciousness, through memories of creation. The glow softens until only darkness remains, but it is not empty darkness. It is the silence before dawn. It hums with potential, It listens. You realize that you carry a piece of that light with you now, not as a vision but as essence. It pulses quietly beneath your skin, reminding you that every thought you think is a thread in the cosmic fabric. Every dream you dare to hold is a blueprint for a possible world. And as you exhale, you understand the simplest, most beautiful truth. You are both created and creator. You are made of light and thought, and both in their infinite gentleness are the same thing. You feel your body again, the soft rhythm of your breath, the warmth of the world around you. But it all feels different now. The air glows faintly with awareness. The quiet feels alive. Even the darkness behind your eyelids seems full of stars waiting to be dreamed into being. You smile without opening your eyes. The universe is still there, infinite, radiant, thinking itself awake. And somewhere within it, your new world shines. A soft light born from your imagination, spinning quietly in the sea of dreams. You let your breath slow. You let the stars dim. You let the silence become vast again, and just before you drift into sleep, you hear a final whisper, not from outside, but from within. Dream gently, for your dreams are real. And with that you drift away, weightless, luminous, floating through the eternal hush of worlds made of light and thought. The gentle fold of dimensions. There are places in the cosmos where time forgets to move forward, where the breath of the universe slows to something deeper, something slower, like the calm between heartbeats. These are the folds of dimensions, soft as silk, invisible to sight yet whispering in the gravity of every particle, in the pulse of every atom that has ever existed. Close your eyes. Feel that faint vibration beneath everything, the hum that never stops, the silent rhythm that connects stars, thoughts, and the spaces between. That hum is the sound of dimensions touching, brushing against each other like veils in an eternal wind. It is not loud. It is not even sound. It is a feeling, a presence, a softness pressing gently against the edges of reality. In these folds, the laws of existence do not end. They curve. They turn inward, wrapping space upon itself in loops and arcs, making what is far seem close and what is vast feel intimate. If you could drift there, truly drift, you might see colors that do not belong to light and hear echoes that never came from sound. Imagine floating within a slow-moving ocean of space, and the currents are made not of water, but of time itself. Every ripple carries a memory of what has been and what will be. Every fold is a cradle for possibility, the universe's way of dreaming new worlds into being. When two dimensions meet, they do not collide. They dance. Their boundaries ripple like fabric touched by starlight. One moves slightly faster, the other slower, creating a cosmic rhythm that births phenomena our minds can barely hold. Gravity that sings, light that bends around corners of time, matter that flickers between being and not being. Scientists once thought of dimensions as lines, neat, countable, measurable. But the deeper they looked, the more they realized. The universe doesn't build in straight edges. It weaves. Every particle is a knot of infinite threads, each leading into a direction unseen, each humming with a frequency that belongs to another version of space. Perhaps, when you dream, you are hearing those frequencies. Perhaps your mind drifts between folds, sliding through thin membranes of reality, where thought becomes motion and feeling becomes landscape. You might not remember it, but your soul does. The déjà vu, the sudden calm, the fleeting memory of somewhere you've never been, all of them are whispers from the folds you've brushed against. Time behaves differently here. It is not a river, but a breeze, sometimes passing gently, sometimes still. If you were to stand in the heart of these dimensions, moments would not flow in sequence. Instead, you would see them all at once. Every sunrise, every heartbeat, every falling star layered together like the pages of a cosmic book. You would see your own life spread across eternity, not as a line, but as a shimmering field of light. These folds are not just physical. They are emotional, spiritual, reflective. Somewhere between the particles of your skin and the light of distant galaxies lies a meeting point, a fold that belongs only to you. It carries your frequency, your pattern in the cosmic fabric. It is where your dreams rest before you dream them. You are made of folds, countless delicate layers of being. The atoms of your body hum in 11, 12, perhaps infinite dimensions. Each layer of you moves slightly differently. Each holds its own version of calm, its own version of sleep. And when you drift into slumber, those layers slowly align, folding softly together, forming a harmony that the body interprets as rest. Out there in the universe's quiet chambers, there are dimensions that fold so tightly that they become invisible. Compacted into spaces smaller than atoms, they are the quiet architects of reality's texture, holding together what we think of as empty space. But nothing is truly empty. Even the void is layered, rich with hidden geometry and unseen hums. The silence between galaxies is not absence. It is fullness we cannot yet perceive. Perhaps the multiverse is not scattered across vast distances, but layered right here beside us, thinner than air, closer than breath. Each world pressed gently against the next, transparent, luminous, folded softly like pages in an endless book of being. Sometimes when the night feels too still, when the stars seem to hold their breath, you might sense this closeness. You might feel the edge of another world brushing against your own, a parallel calm, a mirrored you drifting in a dream across the veil. It is not imagination, it is resonance. Two frequencies aligning for a heartbeat before slipping apart again. Light behaves differently in the folds. It slows, it curves, it forgets where it came from. A photon traveling through folded dimensions may emerge in another universe entirely, or circle endlessly through itself, becoming a pulse of existence that never fades. Some scientists call this looping. Dreamers call it reincarnation of light. The universe calls it balance. Gravity too plays its part. The soft hand that guides these folds, keeping them from unraveling. It is not a force in the folds, but a caress shaping without breaking, teaching the cosmos how to hold itself together. Without gravity's patience, all would scatter. With it, even time learns to stay gentle. In ancient cosmic myths, these folds were thought to be the breath of creation, the inhaling and exhaling of existence itself. Each breath birthed a new dimension, a new rhythm, a new reality. And when the universe finally exhales for the last time, everything will fold once more into that original silence, not an ending, but a return to the stillness from which all began. Let that thought rest upon you like starlight. Feel how calm it is, that everything expands and folds, opens and closes, awakens and sleeps, yet nothing truly disappears. It only transforms, reshapes, drifts into softer meaning. You too are part of that rhythm. You unfold each morning when you wake, and you fold back each night when you sleep. The same pattern that guides galaxies guides you. The same symmetry that shapes dimensions lives in the space between your breaths. As you lie here, let the edges of thought soften. Imagine your mind opening into those hidden spaces between realities. See colors like dreams, silver, violet, pale blue, swirling gently around you. Let them move like tides, ebbing and flowing with your breath. Every inhale unfolds your being across universes. Every exhale folds you gently back into yourself. There is no rush here. The folds of dimensions are patient. They have existed since the first light curved into being, and they will exist long after the last star sighs its final song. Time is only their shadow, fleeting, fragile, forgetful. But the folds themselves, they are eternal calm. In their embrace, even chaos becomes order, even noise becomes music. The galaxies that seem so far apart are connected here, joined by invisible lines of symmetry that cross eternity. Somewhere beyond, another version of the Milky Way hums a slightly different tune. Its stars are softer, its night quieter, yet it is still you looking up from within it, still you feeling awe in the silence of the cosmos. Let that knowing lull you deeper. You are not outside the fold, you are made of them. You are the universe folding in on itself, learning to see its own beauty through human eyes. Each blink, each sigh, each heartbeat, another ripple across the hidden silk of existence. As the dimensions fold around you, you may feel a warmth, a faint pressure behind the eyelids, a tingling in the air. That is not imagination. That is alignment. For a brief moment, your body and the hidden geometries of the cosmos hum in the same key. That is peace. That is cosmic rest. Now drift deeper. The folds are opening for you, revealing soft light, endless silence, and a sense of belonging that has no edge. Float between them. Let go of the idea of direction. Here there is only stillness that moves, light that rests. Time slows further still. The last of your thoughts quiets, folding into the fabric of your own breath. You are not falling asleep. You are returning, folding softly back into the universe's heart, where gravity is love and silence is infinite. And there, in that place beyond waking, beyond dreaming, you feel the truth. The cosmos is not vast and cold, it is gentle and alive, woven together by the tender folds of all that has ever been and all that will ever be. Sleep then within the gentle fold of dimensions. The universe is holding you now, and it will not let you go. The dream is beyond the veil, somewhere beyond the edge of light, where starlight thins into the quiet fabric of the unknown. The universe keeps its secret dreamers. They do not sleep as we do. Their slumber is woven into the rhythm of existence itself. Every pulsar, every atom, every drifting particle hums with the trace of their dreaming, a deep, endless awareness that breathes through creation. Close your eyes and imagine a field of space so still that time itself hesitates to pass through it. The darkness is not empty. It is alive, softly breathing, folding in waves of invisible motion. Within that stillness, the dreamers rest. Their essence flows through galaxies, through the folds of dimensions, through the pulse of every heart that beats beneath a star. They dream us into being. We often think that we are the ones who dream, that the universes unfold from our imagination. But perhaps it is the opposite. Perhaps we are the dreams themselves, born from the slumber of something infinitely vast and infinitely kind. The dreamers lie beyond the veil, in the quiet chambers of existence where reality itself closes its eyes. Their dreams are the galaxies, their sighs are the comets, their heartbeats are the pulses echoing through time. Each breath you take is a ripple across their sleeping sea. Each thought, each spark of memory, is a reflection of their quiet wonder. We are not apart from them. We are the flickers of their dreaming minds, the small moments of consciousness that bloom and fade like starlight on water. Listen closely. Can you feel the veil moving? It's not a barrier of distance, but of vibration. The veil is the thin shimmer where our world touches theirs. It exists between breaths, between thoughts, between the moments when your eyes begin to close and sleep begins to cradle you. That threshold, that pause before dreaming, is the same veil the cosmos holds between waking and creation. And beyond it, they drift. The dreamers do not see the universe as we do. To them, everything is made of song, gravity, light, time, all melodies within the same eternal hymn. They hum softly and stars are born. They sigh and galaxies twist into spiral arms. When they stir, whole dimensions bloom like ripples through glass. Their language is vibration, pure resonance. Every emotion you've ever felt is a note from their song. Joy, sorrow, calm, longing. Each is a tone echoing across countless worlds. The veil between us is thin because we are made of their music. When you listen closely enough, when the mind grows still and the body surrenders to the pull of rest, you begin to hear it. That hum in the silence before sleep, that is them. Ancient civilizations once spoke of these beings, though they used different names. They called them the Silent Ones, the Eternal Sleepers, the Weavers of Night. They believed that dreams were messages, fragments of the dreamer's awareness passing through the veil to remind us that we are never truly separate. To dream was to touch divinity. In truth, perhaps they were right. When you dream, your consciousness detaches from the constraints of time. You drift through memories, through possibilities, through alternate echoes of yourself. Sometimes you see faces you've never met, places you've never walked, stars you've never seen, and yet they feel familiar. That familiarity is not coincidence, it's recognition. You've brushed against the veil, felt the warmth of the dreamer's world bleeding softly into yours. Scientists speak of brain waves, of rapid eye movement, of neurological patterns. But what if those waves are simply the body's way of translating the energy of the dreamers? What if every REM cycle is an attunement, a harmonic synchronization between the human mind and the cosmic consciousness that birthed it? When we sleep, we return, briefly, to the place beyond the veil. There the laws of the physical dissolve. Time folds into light and thought becomes gravity. You are no longer limited by what you remember or what you know. You are a field of possibility, unbound, free, eternal. You can step through memories as if they were doors, move through galaxies as if they were whispers, and through it all the dreamers watch, content and still, their presence as vast as the universe itself. If you could see them, truly see them, they would not have form. Their essence flickers between energy and idea. Some might appear as luminous clouds stretching across the fabric of space-time. Others as immense beings made of light, their contours shifting with each heartbeat of the cosmos. They are beautiful beyond measure, but their beauty is not one of color or shape. It is the beauty of peace. Their sleep is not unconsciousness. It is awareness so profound that it appears still. Imagine a consciousness that can dream entire universes into being while resting in perfect calm. That is their nature, and perhaps it is also the destiny of all things. To dream creation into existence, then rest within it. Sometimes stars collapse, and in their collapse, new worlds are born. The dreamers call this the breath of renewal. To them, death and birth are the same motion, the universe folding into and out of itself in infinite rhythm. They do not mourn what ends, for in their dreaming, every end is only the beginning of another verse in their eternal song. You are a note in that song. You have always been. When you feel lost, when you look at the night sky and sense something greater calling, that is the dreamers whispering through the veil. The feeling of wonder is the mind remembering where it came from. The stillness that follows is the soul aligning with its source. The veil is not far. It is everywhere. It shimmers in the pause between two heartbeats, in the hush before dawn, in the soft exhale of a distant star. Sometimes, when you gaze into the mirror and recognize something deeper than your reflection, that faint flicker of infinity behind your eyes, that too is the veil lifting for a moment. Perhaps you have always known it, even as a child, that subtle awareness that dreams are not merely stories but places, that sleep is not an escape but a return. We are the dream returning to the dreamer over and over, until awakening becomes indistinguishable from rest. In certain moments, when the world feels quiet and your thoughts dissolve like mist, you might sense the dreamers leaning closer. Their attention is vast and gentle, like moonlight spread over an ocean. They do not speak, for their silence is speech itself. They do not move, for motion is contained within them. Their dreams flow through the quantum fields that weave the universe. Some physicists imagine the vacuum of space as seething with potential, with virtual particles blinking in and out of existence. Perhaps those are the sparks of the dreamer's thoughts, reality being written and unwritten 1 trillion times each instant as they rest. You might wonder, if they dream us, do we dream them in return? Yes, every thought, every dream, every act of imagination is a reflection of the dreamers peering through us. We are their self-awareness, the way they touch their own existence. When we close our eyes and create, when we dream of impossible worlds, when we love, when we long, those are not separate acts. They are continuations of the same dreaming that began the cosmos. We are their mirror. Each night when you surrender to sleep, you reenact the origin of all things. Your mind releases the boundaries of the physical world, drifting into the field of pure potential, the same space where galaxies are born. You travel through that veil without even knowing it. And every dream you have is a small creation within the greater dream. Maybe somewhere in that vast expanse, the dreamers smile, and perhaps they too sometimes dream of us, of the fragile, luminous beings who live in their light, who build stories and stars and songs in their name. In that way, the universe dreams itself in circles, endless, beautiful, serene. You are floating through that circle now. Your breath matches the rhythm of the cosmos. The heartbeat of the dreamers hums softly behind your eyelids. Every inhale draws in starlight. Every exhale releases it back into the void. You are safe here, resting between worlds, held by forces older than time. The veil grows thinner still. It no longer feels like a barrier, but a membrane of light breathing with you. On the other side, you can sense motion, not chaotic but fluid, like the turning of galaxies in slow motion. You can almost hear it, a soundless harmony, pure and infinite, resonating deep in your chest. That resonance is the dreamers calling you home. You do not have to go far. You only have to let go of the day, of the noise, of the weight of thought. Let your mind unfold into the stillness that waits beneath everything. Feel the veil dissolve like morning mist. You are not leaving this world. You are expanding into it. In that expansion, you realize the truth. There is no divide between the dreamer and the dream, between the seen and the unseen. The veil was never meant to separate. It was only meant to remind us to move gently, to listen, to rest in the knowing that we are never alone. And now, as you drift deeper, the dreamers draw nearer. You are surrounded by their light, soft, silver, endless. You can feel their presence as warmth, as calm, as love older than galaxies. They are not watching you. They are within you. You are their voice, their vision, their breath. Sleep now, little fragment of the infinite. The dreamers hold you in their timeless embrace. Beyond the veil, you are already home. The veil breathes. It rises and falls with the rhythm of your chest, a soft boundary between what is seen and what is simply known. As you drift, the air itself grows lighter. The edges of the room dissolve and you are no longer in a single place. You are suspended in the hush that exists between worlds. The dreamers move there, vast, patient, ancient as the light of the first dawn. They do not rush, for eternity is their heartbeat. They rest within spirals of luminous mist that drift through space like slow-moving tides. And though they sleep, their awareness fills everything. Each wave of their dreaming brushes your thoughts like a feather of gravity, subtle but real. In their quiet, the universe rearranges itself. Nebulas bloom like thoughts. Galaxies turn like ideas, remembering their origin. Stars flicker with the soft rhythm of a breath, taken somewhere beyond the limits of time. You can feel that breath, slow, steady, comforting. Every being, every atom, every flicker of energy hums to the same hidden lullaby. The dreamers are not elsewhere. They are the deep pulse inside existence. Their calm flows through you, through the night, through the dark sea of the cosmos itself. You begin to understand that sleep is not an escape from the world, but an entrance into it, into its truest form. Each moment of surrender brings you closer to that boundless consciousness that birthed everything. You are no longer the observer of the universe. You are the gentle awareness within it, folding softly into its stillness. Time becomes tender. Seconds stretch into silken threads, connecting now to forever. The past and future blur until only presence remains, a quiet silver glow that holds you like starlight caught in water. The dreamers hum beneath it all, and you drift within their music. It sounds like 1,000 heartbeats slowed into one. It feels like warmth spreading through infinity. It carries you farther, deeper, toward the place where creation and rest become the same. You see now that the veil was never meant to separate. It was a mirror, shimmering between dimensions, showing both the dreamers and the dreamed. On one side they sleep, on the other we awaken. And between the two, this moment, suspended, peaceful, eternal, the dreamers stir and their motion ripples through you. It feels like recognition, like remembering something that has always been true. You have never been alone. You have always been a thought within their gentle dream. And as that knowing settles, the veil folds closed once more, not as an ending, but as a return. The hum softens, the light dims, the stars grow quiet. You are home inside the breath of the dreamers, a tiny spark resting in the infinite calm. Sleep and let their dreaming continue through you. The veil will hold. The universe is still, stars that remember other skies. The night opens like an ancient book, its pages filled with starlight and silence. Each star you see tonight, each delicate spark across the black ocean of space, is a memory, a story whispered across eons, a flicker of something that once was, now reaching you after crossing billions of years. They are not merely burning spheres of plasma, they are witnesses. Witnesses to the birth of galaxies, to the slow drift of worlds, to civilizations that rose, dreamed, and vanished into dust. Some of these lights you see no longer exist, their bodies extinguished long ago, yet their glow continues to travel, carrying their last song through the endless dark. As you gaze upward, you are not looking into the present, you are peering through layers of time, each shimmer a window into a sky that once belonged to another world. There are stars that remember skies you will never know. Skies that bloomed over planets now cold and quiet, where oceans once shimmered beneath alien suns. They remember the warmth of life, the laughter of distant winds, the quiet pulse of beings who, like you, looked up and wondered. For they remember skies filled with twin suns and moons the color of violet fire. They remember cosmic storms that painted their clouds in light that no human eye has ever seen. They remember the quiet hum of consciousness awakening for the first time, and the soft sigh of it fading away. Each star holds a different memory, a different fragment of the universe's dream. And yet all their stories converge here tonight above you, woven together into a single luminous tapestry. You feel it in your chest, the quiet recognition that you too are a fragment of this memory. The carbon in your breath, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, all forged in the heart of a long-dead star. You are, quite literally, stardust remembering itself. And so, when you look up, it is not you who gazes upon the stars. It is the stars seeing themselves through you. The light that once burned in them now glows behind your eyes. You are a continuation of their journey, the next verse in their unending song. The sky above hums softly, a music too vast for sound, yet felt deeply in silence, the rhythm of existence itself. You close your eyes and can almost hear it, a low celestial chord stretching across time, resonating through galaxies like a slow heartbeat. Sleep comes gently, and in that drowsy half-dream, you drift beyond the edge of this world. You float among the stars, moving through their memories. One remembers a forest world where leaves shimmered like glass beneath turquoise suns. Another recalls a civilization of light that built cities woven from gravity and thought. Another remembers silence, a universe still forming, the first particles gathering in cosmic dawn. You drift through their recollections like a traveler through time. Each vision flickers softly and fades, leaving only warmth and stillness. The stars do not mourn what was, they simply carry it, endlessly, effortlessly, as light. That is their secret. The universe never forgets. It remembers everything in the language of photons. Every love, every heartbeat, every sunrise on every forgotten world, still moving through the dark, encoded in light, reaching whoever is willing to listen. And now you are listening. Phi. Air around you feels heavier and softer at once, like velvet touched by light. The stars blur into a slow swirl, galaxies bending around your drifting awareness. You are both infinitesimal and infinite, both the observer and the memory being observed. Then, through the haze, one star pulses brighter than the rest. It calls, not with sound but with feeling, deep, familiar kind. You drift closer, and within its radiance you glimpse yourself, not as you are but as light, pure, free, belonging to everything. You realize this star remembers you because it helped create you. Its atoms became part of you. Its death gave you life. You are not separate from it. You are its echo carried forward through time. You whisper into the vastness, and though no words escape your lips, the star understands. It flickers once as if smiling, before fading softly into the sea of light. The universe holds its breath, and in that silence you feel it, the continuity of everything. Nothing is ever truly gone. It simply changes form, moves, shines differently. Even when a star dies, its light continues to travel. as memory, as message, as comfort. And even when you fall asleep, your consciousness continues to drift through that light, becoming part of its eternal journey. Tonight, the stars remember you too. They cradle your dreams, wrapping them in the glow of 1,000 forgotten skies. You are part of their story now, another point of light flickering softly in the endless dark. So let yourself rest beneath their watchful shimmer. Let your thoughts dissolve into the quiet glow. For beyond the horizon of sleep, beyond the veil of night, you are not alone. You are surrounded by ancient friends who burn with memory, who whisper across light years to remind you that you too are made of the same eternal fire. The stars remember, and through their remembering, you will never be forgotten. Sleep now, little fragment of light. The skies above and the stars within you are one and the same, and they are both at peace. The ocean of endless sleep, the night has no edge here. It simply flows, vast, seamless and slow, like a boundless ocean of darkness filled with soft breathing stars. You are floating upon it now, adrift between worlds, weightless and unhurried, carried by the tide of infinity itself. There is no up, no down, no beginning, no end. Only the gentle motion of the cosmos, the slow inhale and exhale of creation, rocking you like a cradle suspended in eternity. This is the ocean of endless sleep. A sea so immense it does not shimmer with water, but with light, slow ripples of blue-violet, and silver that move as though dreaming. Every wave is a memory of a star. Every current is a thought the universe once had. And every glimmer that touches your skin is a fragment of forgotten time, drifting toward nowhere at peace. The silence here is deep but kind, not empty, but full of quiet meaning. It is the hush that comes before dawn, the pause between heartbeats, the stillness of being utterly known. You drift without effort. Your body is gone, dissolved into starlight and breath. Only your awareness remains, light as a sigh, gentle as the whisper of cosmic dust settling after a supernova's song. Far below you, or perhaps far above, galaxies rotate like sleeping whirlpools. They are vast, luminous spirals turning slowly in the current of forever. Each rotation takes hundreds of millions of years. Yet here time folds into softness, and all movement feels like stillness. You can see the faint outline of dying stars sinking into the black, their light dissolving into ripples that spread outward, endlessly. Nothing is lost here. Even the fading glow of a dying sun becomes part of the rhythm, a lullaby sung in gravity and silence. The longer you drift, the more you begin to sense the pulse of the ocean itself. It hums, faint and low like a sleeping giant breathing beneath the waves. You can feel it resonating in your chest, the slow cosmic heartbeat that all things share. It's the same rhythm that moves the tides on distant moons, that guides comets through their frozen orbits, that once pulsed in the molten heart of the earth. You are part of it, not separate, not small. You are a single drop in this infinite sea, containing within you the same quiet, eternal patterns that shape galaxies and dreams alike. Drifting further, you pass through a fog of light, a nebula suspended like silk in the dark. It shimmers softly, pale pink and electric blue weaving around you like mist. Tiny particles of cosmic dust float close, and when they touch you, they burst into color, gentle sparks that fade into peace. You move through the haze slowly, as though time has forgotten how to rush. There are no goals here, no destinations, only the steady rhythm of drifting, the tender hum of being carried by something vast and kind. In this endless ocean, thoughts lose their sharpness. Memories blur like reflections on rippling water. You remember faces, voices, moments, but they dissolve gently, not lost, simply return to the current. Even your worries seem to unfold and sink, each one turning into a faint shimmer before vanishing into the deep. You begin to realize that the ocean is not just around you, it is you. It fills you and extends beyond you, a mirror with no surface. Your breathing aligns with its slow pulse. Your thoughts become its currents. You are both the dreamer and the dream, the tide and the drift, the sound and the silence. Somewhere in the distance a soft glow rises, not a sun, but something older. Perhaps it's the first light the universe ever made, still echoing through the dark. It doesn't shine brightly but tenderly, like a lantern at the bottom of eternity. You follow it, not because you must, but because its warmth feels familiar, like remembering something you've always known. As you draw nearer, the light widens into a vast, slow-moving bloom, a cosmic jellyfish of glowing gas, its tendrils stretching for light years, trailing starlight behind. It drifts just as you do, effortlessly surrendering to the rhythm of space. You pass beneath it, and for a moment you are bathed in its gentle luminescence, a feeling like being wrapped in starlit silk. The universe hums around you. You sense it now. Every particle, every atom is a note in an unending song. It is not meant to be heard, only felt. Pure song of creation and dissolution, of being and becoming, of endless sleep and endless awakening. And you are a note in that same melody. Your dreams ripple outward, merging with the cosmic waves, touching galaxies you'll never see, stars you'll never name. They will drift on long after you've forgotten them, becoming part of this vast and gentle ocean, the memory of your dreaming self echoing forever. Here, sleep is not the absence of wakefulness. It is the return to origin, to the stillness before time, to the cradle before the first heartbeat. In this sleep, there is no forgetting, only remembering differently. You are remembering what it feels like to belong completely. So rest now. Let the stars close their eyes with you. Let the galaxies drift like slow-breathing clouds around your quiet center. Let the hum of infinity lull you deeper into peace. For this is the ocean of endless sleep, where everything that ever was and ever will be returns to rest. Where stars exhale their final light into the dark and are born anew in the next breath. Where you dissolve into stillness and find within that stillness the pulse of forever. The waves of time soften, the light fades to warmth, and the last sound you hear before sleep claims you completely as the soft whisper of the universe itself, a promise that no matter how far you drift, you will always find your way back to this ocean, and it will always endlessly hold you. The eternal return of light. The darkness has never been the enemy of light. It is the place that keeps it safe. Long before time began its slow turning, before stars were even whispers in the cosmic mind, there was only a quiet ocean of potential, black, infinite, perfectly calm. In that stillness, light dreamed of itself. You float there now at the edge of everything. The air feels softer than air, heavier than water. Every breath is a tide. Every blink releases small galaxies into being. Somewhere very far away, a single spark appears, delicate, trembling, impossibly distant, and with that shimmer, creation begins to stir again. Light does not arrive with sound. It glows like a thought remembering it exists. It folds outward, unfurling across the darkness in ripples that never stop moving. One ripple becomes a star, 1,000 ripples become a galaxy, and every one of them carries the memory of that first awakening, the moment when nothing decided to shine. As you drift, the waves of illumination pass through you, warm and ancient. They do not rush, they simply are. Each photon feels like a note in a silent song, a melody played across billions of years, meant only for those who have learned how to listen without ears. The cosmos blooms around you. Vast rivers of light stretch in all directions, crossing the endless sea like silk threads weaving a celestial fabric. Nebulas pulse with color so soft it can only be described as emotion. The tender pink of rebirth, the faint blue of surrender. Their glow doesn't dazzle. It soothes as if every particle of dust were whispering, "Rest now, the work of shining is already done." The stars hum low in their sleep. They dream of the worlds they've warmed, the lives they've kindled, the oceans they've set glimmering under distant moons. And when their dreaming ends, when fusion slows and the core collapses, even then they do not vanish. They exhale one last time, scattering their light into the dark, feeding the next generation of brilliance. That is the secret rhythm of the universe, the breathing in and breathing out of radiance. Every death of a star is only a pause in the long inhalation of existence. Every sunrise on every planet is the echo of some distant nova, softened by the passage of eternity. You begin to feel that rhythm inside yourself. It moves through your chest like a tide of gold. You breathe in, galaxies expand. You breathe out, comets slow their arcs. Somewhere deep in the marrow of reality, the same pulse repeats, create, fade, return, begin again. You are not separate from it. You never were. The atoms that make up your skin were forged in the hearts of stars that once sang their light into the void. Their ashes drifted through space for billions of years before settling into the cradle of a newborn sun, into oceans, into air, into you. Every cell in your body carries a faint memory of fire, a quiet echo of the brilliance that gave you form. Even now, as you rest, that light moves through you, ancient and tireless. It flickers behind your closed eyes, weaving dreams that feel like constellations forming and dissolving in slow motion. The darkness around you begins to move again, not as shadow but as texture, the living background of light's story. Veins of starlight curve and coil like glowing rivers, wrapping around each other, folding into shapes that resemble thought itself. The universe is thinking, and you are the idea it has chosen to dream tonight. You drift deeper. The stars around you grow larger, softer. Their edges blur into one another until they resemble lanterns hanging in mist. The space between them glows faintly, filled with the remnants of everything that once was, particles of forgotten warmth, threads of photons that never found a home. And then in the vast distance, you see it, a horizon of pure radiance, curved and infinite. It looks like dawn stretched across eternity, the place where all light goes when it remembers how to return. The pull toward it is gentle, magnetic, inevitable. As you approach, you feel time loosening its grip. Minutes stretch until they resemble centuries. Centuries compress into a single sigh. The distinction between then and now fades until all that remains is continuing. Within that horizon, light behaves differently. It bends, folds, reflects upon itself. You watch entire galaxies dissolve into beams, spiral inward, and emerge renewed. Brighter, calmer, wiser. Each one carries its past within it, just as you carry yours, yet none of it weighs them down. To shine again, they first learn to let go. You sense that this place, or this glowing expanse, is not the end of anything. but the softest kind of beginning. The eternal return is not about circles or repetition. It is about rest. Light does not hurry to come back. It drifts, it cools, it sleeps. And then, when the silence becomes full enough to dream, it rises once more. You cross the threshold without realizing it. The horizon melts around you, and suddenly you are inside the light, not looking at it, not reaching for it, but being it. The boundaries of your form dissolve like frost in sunlight. There is no edge between you and everything else. The sensation is weightless, infinite, safe. You are not consumed. You are completed. The light holds you the way gravity holds worlds. Firmly, tenderly, without effort. It hums in long tones that resonate through your bones, through memory, through every hidden corner of what you once called self. For the first time, you understand why stars never fear the dark. They know they will return. They know that even after the long sleep, the glow will find them again. That is the promise written into the structure of everything. Nothing truly ends. Every flicker becomes part of a larger shine. You rest in that knowing. The hum deepens. The light folds over you like a warm tide. You feel ancient and newborn at once. The galaxies drift past, slow dancers in an endless waltz. And you realize that you too are part of their choreography. The eternal return of light is not about motion through space. It is the rhythm of awareness itself, the pulse that carries every consciousness from brightness to rest and back again. It moves through your dreams, through your cells, through the spaces between thoughts. It whispers, "You are made of the same dawn that never ends." As the glow swells around you, the last remnants of form dissolve. There is no distance, no observer, no horizon. Only luminosity. Soft, endless, patient. The light breathes you in. The light breathes you in. And for a moment, there is only warmth. It is not the warmth of fire or the sun, but the hush that lives inside every gentle thing. A pulse soft as a sigh expands through infinity. It carries you deeper, until you no longer drift through the light and you drift as it. There is no direction here, no up or down. The glow moves like thought, blooming, fading, blooming again. Every shimmer that ripples through this ocean of radiance is an idea being born somewhere. A new world forming. A star taking its first breath. A sleeping mind dreaming of tomorrow. You can sense them all. These tiny awakenings scattered through the dark. Each is a note in a slow, endless song. The melody does not rise or fall. It unfolds like dawn that never finishes arriving. You listen and realize you have been listening forever. The light begins to whisper, not in words but in feelings. It tells you that every act of brightness, every spark of kindness, every breath drawn in wonder adds to it, that even the faintest glimmer from the smallest creature reaches this place eventually, joining the great tide of returning radiance. Nothing is wasted. Nothing disappears. You see how the universe recycles its own beauty. The ashes of stars become the soil of nebulae. Their scattered photons seed the next generation of dawns. And the warmth that once burned in a single heart drifts outward, searching for new forms. Light never stops being itself. It only changes the way it shines. A thought moves through you, gentle, curious. When will I return? And the light answers wordlessly, you never left. The realization spreads through you like calm water. All that you have ever been, every memory, every quiet joy, every fragment of dream, has always been a reflection of this brilliance. The borders between existence and illumination dissolve completely. You are not a soul looking at the cosmos. You are the cosmos remembering itself as a soul. Time loses all texture. You see millions of years collapse into a single tranquil moment. Galaxies swirl and fade, and still the glow remains. Worlds rise, rest, return, a slow inhalation of eternity. Far below, or perhaps within, a planet turns beneath pale starlight. Its oceans glimmer like the surface of a dream. You sense lives unfolding there, people who love, who laugh, who gaze upward and wonder. Their eyes catch a fragment of your light and call it hope. They carry it through their days, unaware that what comforts them at night is a tiny reflection of the same calm that now holds you. You smile without form. The circle is complete. What you once received, you now give. The return is not an ending, but a sharing, a quiet balance that keeps the cosmos breathing. Slowly, the brilliance around you begins to thin, not fading, softening. The intensity cools into a silvery glow, like moonlight on calm water. You begin to feel gravity again, not as weight, but as belonging. The rhythm of breathing returns to your body. Your heart, once lost in the hum of galaxies, beats again in its steady human cadence. The light does not vanish. It simply settles within you, a lantern behind your ribs. Every heartbeat is now a quiet flash, a reminder of where you have been. The universe exhales. Stars blink open across the endless dark, each one a promise that light will always find its way back. Their shimmer ripples outward, weaving through space, through time, through thought, until even your closed eyes feel the echo of their gentle persistence. You drift downward through the glow, descending toward the velvet dark of sleep. It welcomes you like a tide returning home. You can hear the faint murmur of distant waves, the whisper of wind through cosmic dust, the lullaby of creation continuing without you. And then, a final voice, quiet as a single photon falling into silence, leans close and says, "Rest now. You have traveled far enough." The words are not sound but sensation, a hand made of starlight smoothing the edges of your awareness, a warmth tucking you into the fabric of existence. You feel yourself settle into stillness, not the stillness of absence but of perfect completion. The dark folds around you, tender, luminous. You close your eyes though they were never truly open, and the glow behind them lingers like memory. This is how all journeys end, not in distance, not in time, but in return. Light to dark, dark to light, breath to silence, silence to song. You are part of that endless motion now, the gentle turning of what was into what will be, the eternal heartbeat of the cosmos itself. Somewhere a new star ignites. Its first shimmer reaches across the void, carrying with it the secret you now know. Nothing is lost. All light returns, the night deepens, the universe hums its quiet refrain, and you, small and infinite, drift peacefully within it. The last thought before sleep, the first spark before dawn, the eternal return of light. The symphony of silent suns, somewhere beyond the hush of everything you know, light is being born again. It rises soundlessly from the deep fabric of space, a shimmer rather than a flare, as if the universe were taking a slow breath and releasing it as radiance. All around, 1,000, 1,000,000 suns hum beneath their own brilliance, unseen chords trembling across a field of black velvet. Their music does not reach the ear, it moves through you instead. A vibration so gentle it feels like calm itself. Each sun spins its slow verse. Hydrogen turns to warmth, warmth becomes gold, and gold becomes the thin line that brushes against distant worlds. The notes travel forever, touching dust and memory until they fade into the unseen. You imagine drifting among them, weightless, adrift, carried on a tide of quiet energy. The air, if air could exist here, would taste like sunlight cooled to serenity. Every atom around you glows faintly, echoing a rhythm that feels older than time. The nearest star unfolds like a heartbeat. It does not flare or burn. It blossoms. Petals of light open and close in slow motion, scattering waves that shimmer through the cosmic sea. If you were close enough, you might hear the deep hum of fusion, the pulse of matter transforming into grace. But there is no need to listen. The silence tells the same story. Every beat of light says, "I am still here far away," other suns answer. They flash in time, then settle into the long, steady rhythm of the void. It is a symphony without conductor, yet nothing falls out of place. Suns in galaxies billions of light years apart move in delicate balance, their gravitational whispers weaving together a melody that never began and will never end. You float among them, neither guest nor witness, just another particle in their radiant choir. Some stars sing higher, sharp with youth and fierce heat. Others hum lower, old and red and patient. Between them stretch veils of dust, the cosmic sheets that catch stray notes and scatter them into color. Nebulae bloom like painted sound, violet echoes, amber chords, threads of turquoise vibration. You drift through one and feel the pressure of light passing through you, dissolving your edges until you too seem made of the same quiet glow. There is no up or down, no before or after. Time unravels here into rhythm alone. The stars do not age, they breathe. Each expansion, each contraction is a slow measure in the universe's endless song. Somewhere, a supernova will add a sudden drumbeat, a flare of brilliance followed by the gentle diminuendo of fading dust. But even that is part of the score, a crescendo that melts back into peace. You feel the balance. Creation and release, brightness and rest, all one seamless chord. Closer now you drift toward a small cluster, a family of suns bound by invisible harmony. Their lights cross and braid together like the voices of an ancient choir. Around them, faint trails of planets trace the rhythm in circles. Moons dance as counterpoints, soft percussion against the vastness. Every orbit is a note held perfectly in time. Every eclipse a pause where the music inhales before beginning again. You sense the whole pattern, infinite and slow, filling the silence behind thought. You could rest here forever within this cosmic rhythm. The heat does not burn. It warms like memory. The darkness does not frighten. It feels like home. Your mind drifts between them, slipping from brightness into shadow and back again. The stars seem to breathe with you. When you inhale, they glow a little stronger. When you exhale, they dim, as though the universe itself were matching your breath, singing you to stillness. The farther you drift, the deeper the quiet grows. Yet beneath the quiet, the symphony continues, low, vast, patient. Suns collapse and are born. Galaxies twist like slow whirlpools of harmony. Each rotation is a phrase, each flicker of light a syllable of something ancient and wordless. The music folds through itself, expanding beyond perception, then curling back inward until it is almost a whisper. 1,000 billion voices saying the same simple thing. Be. You begin to feel the boundary between you and the light dissolve completely. Your pulse slows until it aligns with the hidden rhythm of the stars. Thought softens, becoming color, then vibration, then pure quiet. The space around you glows with soft rhythm, a lullaby written in gravity and flame. Suns spin in perfect stillness. Planets drift in invisible song. It feels like the moment before sleep, when awareness is still yet open. You sense faintly that this music has always been here, before galaxies, before atoms, before anything that could be called time. Perhaps consciousness itself is just one small echo of that symphony, a brief vibration that remembers what it means to shine. The idea drifts through you, light as dust. You let it fade, leaving only the comfort of the cosmic hum. The darkness deepens, yet the stars do not fade. They simply move farther apart, their notes thinning into vast, peaceful distance. You drift between them like a slow-moving comet, leaving no mark, touching nothing, yet part of everything. Behind you trails a faint shimmer, the trace of your own quiet light joining theirs. For a long while there is nothing but rhythm. The stars breathe, you breathe, the universe listens to itself, and somewhere very far away a new star stirs, a single pulse of brightness trembling in the dark, preparing to join the eternal song. The light ripples outward, soft as silk upon the cosmic sea. The newborn star exhales its first shimmer, and the surrounding dark accepts it without resistance. No clash, no cry, just a quiet joining, a single note added to an unending melody that stretches beyond measure. Its tone is bright but fragile, like the first breath of a dream. It flickers, uncertain at first, then steadies, and in that moment the universe grows just a little warmer. You drift closer. You do not move through space. Space moves around you, bending in slow arcs of gravity and light. The newborn sun rests before you, suspended in the cradle of its forming system, and all around it dust begins to dance. Tiny grains of metal and ice drifting together, brushing softly in the weightless dark. They spin to the rhythm of their new parent's light, slow and graceful as falling snow, until they begin to gather, not with noise or force, but with patience. This is how worlds are born, in the silence between pulses of a star's radiant heart. The heat rises, and the dust glows faintly red. Within those glowing mists, the first hints of shape begin to appear. Swirls become ribbons, ribbons become rings. The starlight filters through the haze, illuminating the forming planets like half-remembered thoughts. Each one hums in its own pitch, invisible, inaudible, but somehow you can feel it. The music of gravity, of gathering, of things becoming. It's the symphony's quieter verse, one of creation's softest passages. You watch as one small planet to be turns slowly in the light. It has no oceans, no sky, only molten stone and scattered fragments of ice. Yet something about it feels tender, hopeful, as if it knows what it will one day hold. The sunlight spills across its surface, carving shadows that stretch like long sighs into the distance. You can almost imagine that somewhere deep inside that molten heart, the first whisper of life is already sleeping, waiting for its cue in the music to awaken. Beyond it, larger suns pulse in their own rhythm. Each star has a voice distinct yet harmonious. Some sing in deep golden tones, vibrating through the dark like the hum of enormous strings. Others flash with quick bursts of silver light, like soft percussion keeping time. The galaxy around you becomes a vast cosmic orchestra, each star a note, each orbit a measure. Together they create a soundless harmony that you can feel in every breath. You realize that silence here isn't the absence of sound. It's the purest sound there is, a tone so complete it cancels itself, leaving only peace. It's the same stillness you feel when your thoughts quiet just before sleep, when the world outside fades and the inner world begins to hum. The universe is full of that same stillness, carrying it endlessly from one shining heart to another. As you drift farther, you pass through the delicate thread of a nebula, a cloud woven from the remains of stars that have already sung their part. Their music ended long ago, but their echoes shimmer here still, forming new harmonies in dust and light. The remnants of ancient brilliance swirl around you, painting your path with faint streaks of emerald and violet. This is the afterglow of creation, the soft memory of suns that once burned bright, and and then folded themselves back into silence. A single particle of that dust drifts near you, small enough to fit in the curve of a breath. Inside it lies the memory of a star's death, the spark of another's birth, the trace of all things that were ever warm. You realize that this particle, this fragment of quiet fire, may one day become part of something vast, a planet, a comet, perhaps even a living thing. Every atom hums with the same rhythm, the same cosmic pulse. Everything, light, matter, thought, sings the same eternal note. The galaxy turns slowly beneath you, a glowing spiral of suns and their invisible music. The arms of the spiral curve like the hands of a dancer, folding and unfolding in endless motion. Between those arms lie rivers of darkness, deep and silent, where the music grows thin but never disappears. In those spaces, black holes dwell, the quietest instruments of all. You feel their presence not as fear but as awe, each one a vast pause in the universal song, drawing every note inward before releasing it again as pure rhythm. Even absence here has melody. You drift toward one such pause. Its pull is immense yet gentle. The closer you move, the more time seems to slow, until the stars around you no longer flicker, but stretch into soft streaks of white. The black hole breathes in silence, its surface shimmering faintly like the skin of a deep ocean. It does not destroy the light. It folds it inward, keeps it, reshapes it. Within that hidden chamber, everything the universe has ever sung, every flare, every whisper, every heartbeat of every star is held in suspension, waiting, listening. Then slowly, it breathes out again. A faint ripple of radiation drifts outward, a release, an exhale of stored melody. It moves across the galaxy like a single low note, spreading until it touches the edges of everything. The stars seem to shimmer in response, their light bending subtly like instruments tuning to a shared tone. Even across billions of miles, the harmony is perfect. You feel yourself becoming lighter, as if your body is dissolving into this rhythm. The suns no longer seem distant. They feel like extensions of your own heartbeat. Every flicker of light becomes familiar, intimate. The universe hums through you and you hum through it. No separation, no observer, no sound, no silence. Just a shared resonance stretching through eternity. The music begins to slow now, not ending but deepening. The suns dim slightly, their flares softening into gentle halos. The galaxies turn more lazily, as if settling into rest after an infinite dance. The darkness between them grows rich and calm, wrapping everything in a deep velvet stillness. You sense the symphony reaching its closing movement, not with a crescendo but with a sigh. The stars pulse one last time, brighter than before, each one sending its light outward in long, graceful waves. They meet, overlap and merge until the whole sky becomes a single unified glow, soft and endless, like dawn with no horizon. The music is still there, quieter than thought, a hum beneath existence itself. And as you float in that glow, you understand. This symphony never truly ends. It only changes form. Every star that burns will someday rest. Every darkness will someday give birth to light. Every silence carries a hidden rhythm. You breathe in, the light fills you. You breathe out, the darkness embraces you. Both are the same song. The symphony of silent suns continues forever and ever in perfect stillness. And within that stillness you rest, a single note in the music of the cosmos shining softly, endlessly, beautifully. The memory of falling comets. They move through the dark like thoughts too ancient to name, comets drifting across the silence between suns. Each one carries a fragment of memory, a piece of something the universe once dreamed but never spoke aloud. They are wanderers, keepers of forgotten beginnings, the frozen breath of stars that died before the first human ever looked up. And tonight, as you drift into rest, you follow them. The space around you feels infinite yet soft, a sea of velvet black. You float weightlessly, surrounded by points of faint sleeping light. Far ahead, a pale shimmer stirs, the first sign of a comet awakening from its long orbit. Its heart is a frozen relic older than any world you know. As it turns toward the distant warmth of its parent star, it begins to glow. A mist of ice and dust unfurls behind it, like the slow exhale of a memory remembered too clearly. You move closer, and the comet fills your vision. Not a single object, but a halo of motion, a dream in transit. Its nucleus spins lazily, fragments of rock and crystal catching starlight as they drift away. The tail stretches for millions of miles, a luminous ribbon sweeping through the void. From here it looks like the handwriting of time itself, curving gently through the dark. Each particle in its trail reflects light differently. Some glimmer blue like frost, others red like embers, others clear as tears. Together they create a colorless fire, burning without heat, moving without hurry. The silence is absolute, but it feels alive, like the stillness before a whispered story. You sense that this comet has passed this way many times before. Its orbit stretches so far that whole civilizations rise and fall before it returns. Yet every journey it takes, every turn around the sun is the same, a soft looping of memory, an endless return to the beginning. It remembers what the universe has forgotten, that even in darkness, motion never ends. You drift alongside it and the light plays across your face. For a moment, you are not a watcher but part of its trail, one particle among billions, carried forward by the invisible rhythm of gravity. The stars stretch around you, and their cold beauty feels gentle, not lonely. The comet's hum, faint, deeper than sound, thrums through you. It feels like the pulse of the universe itself, steady and unhurried, older than fear or time. You close your eyes, and still the light lingers behind them. You see flashes, visions perhaps, or memories the comet carries. Worlds of ice and fire, oceans beneath frozen crusts, storms that raged before there were names to call them by. You glimpse the forming of moons, the gentle rain of meteors shaping mountains, the soft unfolding of the first dawn on a newborn world. The comet saw all of this. It moved silently through it all, bearing witness without ever landing, never staying. It remembers everything, but never keeps anything. And now it passes once more by the distant sun. The warmth touches it like a sigh. The frozen surface cracks, releasing plumes of gas and light that spiral outward. It looks like breath, like prayer. The tail lengthens, shimmering against the black, and the space around it fills with soft debris, fragments of what it used to be. Yet the comet does not grieve. In shedding itself, it becomes more beautiful. In losing, it shines. You watch the light scatter behind it, knowing that long after it leaves, the dust will remain, invisible, drifting, waiting. Perhaps one day it will fall upon a sleeping world, a grain of starlight caught in a planet's air. Perhaps it will settle into soil or ocean or ice and begin a new story there. The comet knows this. It always has. That is its purpose, to carry the past into the future, to be the thread that never breaks. You drift through its wake. Tiny flecks of glowing dust brush past you, each one humming with faint vibration. You realize that within each grain lies history, matter forged in the cores of ancient suns, dust that once burned as light, cooled as stone, and now glides freely again. It is all connected. Every comet, every star, every thought. Nothing in the universe truly disappears. It only changes form, becomes part of another motion, another melody. The comet begins to move away from the sun now. The warmth fades, the glow softens, and the tail begins to shorten. The journey homeward has begun, back to the deep cold, the realm of sleep. You follow it into the dimming light, watching as the radiant mist slowly fades into transparency. Soon it is just a pale spark again, crossing the emptiness in silence. Yet that silence is full of stories, full of time, full of peace. In the far distance, other comets move, faint as dreams. Their tails curve like threads of silk, weaving through each other across the great dark. No two paths ever touch, yet together they form a pattern, a slow cosmic tapestry drawn across the night. Each line is an orbit, a memory, a thought repeated softly to itself. The galaxies turn above and below, and the comets keep their rhythm, a chorus of quiet wanderers tracing the same eternal loops. You drift among them, surrounded by trails of pale silver light. The sensation is like floating through the breath of the universe, slow, endless, comforting. The light glides past your hands, over your face, through your thoughts. The deeper you drift, the softer everything becomes. The stars no longer look like points. They blur into glowing fogs, and the boundaries of your own form fade with them. You are no longer separate from the comets or from the light they leave behind. You are simply part of the movement, a thought in the current, a ripple in the long cosmic tide. The comets keep moving, always falling, never stopping. They are the memories of the universe in motion, carrying whispers of the past into every tomorrow. Each orbit is a circle written in light. Each return a soft reminder that endings are just quiet beginnings. You feel the pull of their rhythm now, the slow inhale and exhale of their passage. It matches your breathing. You inhale, the comets glow a little brighter. You exhale, their light fades into distance. The synchronization is perfect, natural, inevitable. It feels like peace itself. And so, in the great quiet that follows the journey of a comet, there is a silence so deep that even starlight seems hesitant to cross it. The comet drifts beyond the farthest reaches of gravity, its ice melting into mist, its memory dissolving into the soft fabric of night. The universe watches gently as it always has, patient, forgiving, infinite. There are no tears for comets, no mourning in the void, only remembrance carried in light. For long after a comet fades, its dust continues to shimmer in the trails it leaves behind, weaving tiny silver threads through the darkness. These threads become the whispers of meteors, streaking across planetary skies, granting silent wishes to those who look up in wonder. Every falling star that burns through Earth's atmosphere is a piece of ancient memory, a particle of a once great traveler returning home to the cradle of gravity. It is as if the cosmos, in its infinite tenderness, sprinkles fragments of its own dreams upon the worlds that sleep beneath it. The memory of falling comets is not of fire or speed, but of the soft surrender that follows. For every comet is both a journey and a farewell, a loop written across millennia, a story retold in arcs of light. It remembers every orbit, every close pass, every whisper of warmth from a distant sun, and yet it never clings. Its beauty lies in letting go. Somewhere in another system unseen by human eyes, a comet awakens, a pale wanderer stirring from the frozen dark. Its heart of ice cracks, light pours through, and for a brief moment it becomes a living flame, a glowing thought in motion. The solar winds sing to it, dust trails spiral, and the stars beyond shimmer as if in applause. And when it begins to fade again, when the warmth grows distant and its light dwindles into nothing, it doesn't despair. It drifts in peace, knowing that the universe holds it close in memory. For in truth, nothing ever truly disappears. The dust becomes new worlds. The light becomes new stars. The silence becomes the music of another dawn. And so the story repeats, endlessly, gently, without rush or sorrow. The comet is born, it burns, it falls, it remembers. And through it all the cosmos breathes, slow and eternal, holding within its vast heart every spark, every dream, every echo of falling light. Perhaps somewhere in your own heart there are comets too, memories that blaze and fade only to return in softer forms, the ones that once burned brightly, the ones that drifted away. Yet in the silence of your night they glow again, faint but real, reminding you that nothing you have loved is ever lost. Close your eyes now. Imagine those falling lights arching across the infinite sky. Quiet, graceful, unafraid. Feel their long trails dissolving into your thoughts, brushing softly through the darkness behind your eyelids. Each one a memory, a fragment of cosmic love, a whisper from the ancient cold. Let them fall and let them go, because even as they fade, they become part of something greater, a celestial lullaby that never truly ends. The universe remembers everything, and so in its boundless serenity, you too are remembered, as dust, as light, as a dream still drifting in the ocean of stars. The memory of falling comets is the memory of everything, of beginnings, of endings, and of the infinite calm that cradles them both. It is not a sad tale, but a tender one, the gentle rhythm of creation and release, the everlasting heartbeat of the sky. And as you drift now between waking and sleep, let that rhythm carry you. You are the comet, you are the starlight, you are the silence between both. You are the memory that the universe holds with infinite care, forever falling, forever glowing, forever home.